Yeah, Grandpa Vinny got some tips and tricks on how to play that new video game called Enshrouded. So sit down, shut up, listen up. Enshrouded is an open world RPG that also bills itself as a base building survival crafting game, which brings the best of many worlds together in an amazing game. After 1 week, there's nearly 20,000 positive Steam reviews. If you're a fan of those genres, it's really a game you should look into. This video shows you the best way for a quick start in the RPG story progression, survival aspects, as well as base crafting. If you find this video helpful, I'd appreciate it if you liked, shared, and subscribed to the channel for more flippin' amazing Enshrouded content. When you begin Enshrouded, you're given several different options to start out with. The first is how to create a character. Next, you're going to be given the option of what kind of game to play. You could start a private game, which is on your own computer, you're going to be playing a single-player playthrough. Or you could host a game on your own computer, but up to 16 of your friends could join you. Or you could join an online game with many people across the internet. We're going to start a private local game. This game is heavy on RPG, so you're going to see these red glowing books. Constantly read all of them. You want to grab everything you can, get every bit of resources, open every chest. There'll be loot inside. Collect everything that you can. Also, with this game, you can break things down and get other resources from it too. We have a recipe to make a shield. You can go to your character and go to crafting by pressing V, and you can craft all of these things. Anything new will have a yellow dot to it. You want to make sure you explore every little spot for loot. You'll also see rubble like this. Usually that means you can dig through it or use these bombs. The game does a fairly decent job of teaching you how to do those things. And we've gotten our first hatchet. Throughout the game, you'll constantly see these red glowing books. Those are parts of lore. You want to make sure you read all of those to get a better understanding of the storyline and the lore of the game. The game does a really good job of guiding and directing you through the opening stages to learn the game. The game will allow you to tab to lock onto your enemies. However, I don't really like that, as I prefer to aim for the headshots. Loot everything. You have a certain amount of time that you can spend in this shrouded area. So make sure you use your time wisely. If you encounter some of these little mushroom thingies, your time will greatly reduce. It's generally advisable to stay on the pathways. If you stay on this pathway and then just veer off a little bit, you'll find a wolf cave. Coming back to the pathway, you'll see another shrouded area and a little red beacon. This is kind of telling you where it wants you to place your first altar. Going into the shrouded area, you can get more resources. By attacking these creatures, dodging out of their way. Also look around for stairways that lead down. If you take the pathway to the left, you'll be greeted by an area called Long Keep. And if you go this way, you'll actually find a spot where there's a little extra food. You also have a lore book here. Finally, a break from the tedious work. You'll find beds throughout that you can actually sleep. You'll see several of these campfires where you'll be able to cook your food. Also, about this time, it'll be getting dark. During the nighttime, more of those creatures come out of that shrouded area and actually come out into the normal area. So it's best to sleep through the night. Every time you see one of these wells, you want to grab some water. Trust me, you want to grab water every time. You will thank me later. Anything with a yellow dot means that it's a new item for you. You're able to have 3 different buffs. By going to your character screen, you can see the different items that you have equipped. Right now, I only have threadbare pants. Let's get some clothes. The other thing you'll notice is all your attributes and different status details. We're rested, which means we were by a campfire, we sat down, and we chilled out for a minute. That's good. You always want to have a rested bonus. Also, there is a buff for 3 different foods that you have eaten. Unlike a lot of other survival games, which give you debuffs for not eating, negative things, this game gives you positives for eating. Continue to run throughout the world and break things to your heart's content. Everything will respawn and repopulate when you log out and log back in. Pay attention for doors like this. These are secret doors. There's usually treasure behind there. You will occasionally run into these chests which require a lockpick. That is something you can actually craft from the crafting menu on your character. All that a lockpick requires to craft is 2 metal scraps. So we're going to craft one. Then we'll be able to open this. Now we get the goodies out of there. A health potion. That's awesome. When you see these beehives, make sure you loot them also. Gives a great source of energy early in the game. Okay, the game is still wanting us to build this flame altar, so let's go ahead and do this. When you go to place this altar down, you'll notice a red square. This is the area that is protected by your flame altar. Anything outside this area will revert back to the way it was anytime you log out and log back in, meaning the trees, the ground, the terraforming, any of that stuff. Anything inside this area is protected. Now we can commune with the flame. You're not alone. There's others. Now it's going to direct you to finding other survivors. At this point, we can build our first workbench. When we open up our crafting menu, anything that has a yellow dot beside it means that it's a new recipe for you. Anything that is red means you don't have the materials required for it. Let's place the workbench down. When we open the workbench, then we get even more recipes that we can make. The recipes with the exclamation point are highly important for progressing the game. So we need to build a construction hammer. We need to build a glider and a grappling hook. In order to build the glider, we need string and shroud wood. In order to build the grappling hook, we need string. Let's go find some string. Wait a minute. I saw that here. There it is. We can build string out of plant fiber. Now we can build our grappling hook. If you place something down and you don't like where you placed it, you can always pick it up and then replace it down later. We can also do the same thing with our flame altar, though. By extinguishing the flame, we can move our flame altar. Depending upon your play style, bows and wands are very OP in this game. So let's craft a bow. Once we craft a bow, then we're given the recipe for wooden arrows. Let's craft some wooden arrows. Another great thing about this game, if you equip your bow, then it actually does not take up a slot. Once the bow is equipped, you can press the Q button to instantly go to the bow and instantly come away from the bow. So if I want to attack this wolf, and then my axe is prepared for melee combat. Just like that. Very nice and easy. Very good mechanic for this game. By going in our backpack, we see our grappling hook. We want to equip the grappling hook. Then when we go to our character screen, we can see what we have equipped. This starting area where the game directs you to is very nice for building. It's nice and flat, it's open, and it's very, very safe. However, if you wish to get off to a faster start and level a little faster, I suggest you head off a little bit to the left of Long Keep. However, you will need that grappling hook equipped. You're going to press E to utilize that grappling hook. Make sure you have your stamina. And look here. Here's a chest of loot. That brings up two other things. Number one, red barrels. Hit them from a distance with the bow to blow them up. You can harvest these beehives. Sometimes you can't reach them. Use a bow to knock them down. Or use your axe to chop down the tree. This first building that you come across, there will be plenty of loot here. Also, you'll notice rubble like this. There's usually treasure underneath. So you want to blow up the barrels. There is treasure. You'll see things like this that look like decoration, but they're actually things you can break down and get more resources. If I stop standing on top of them. Look at all that plant fiber. Best way to deal with bees is a torch. Once you leave this house, you'll see a pathway. And the pathway splits. You want to go right in between where it splits. This is where I suggest you build your first base. So let's craft another flame altar. You can craft as many as you want. However, you can only place 2 active ones at one time. Let's place our workbench. There we go. A reminder, everything with an exclamation point is important to craft. So the axe, we want to craft one of those. The pickaxe, we want to craft one of those. At this point, we also want to craft us our first storage. We're going to make a tiny storage chest just to put some of this stuff in. We'll just drop it right here. That way we can put some of our stuff up that we don't really need right now. Another great thing about this location is right next to the house, you can mine flint. You can dig the ground. You can dig for stone. However, when you're mining flint, you actually get experience for it. And by coming back to your workbench, you're able to create some building blocks so you can make your first house. With your construction hammer equipped, press the tab, then you can go to the alt for different sizes. Let's build us a foundation for our house. If you look off to the right, you can press Control and scroll down for the different types of materials. Let's build it out of stone. Once you unlock your recipes for your building blocks, then you have other items that you can build, such as a fireplace and a bed. If you come right around the corner from where we're building, flint. Plenty of flint. When your tools get worn out, you can go to your workbench and they automatically repair. Let's build us a door. Let's place our door. You can also stack items. You can also build scaffolding. Scaffolding can sometimes make your building a little bit easier. we want to pay attention to the comfort items. Always take a look at these. The plus on the comfort, try to go as high up as you can go. That will help with your rested bonus. So by the end of your second day and your first 30 minutes of gameplay, you should have a nice, comfortable, cozy home that you can call your own and a good base of operation with which to go adventuring. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy this, don't forget to hit the thumbs up, like, share, and subscribe. Thank you all so much. Have a wonderful day.